Check it. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, I'm looking at AMC, the SPY as well, and I quickly look at the other meme stocks, APE, GME, and Bed Bath & Beyond at the end of the video. But I mostly focus on AMC in this video. Also preparing you guys what to get ready for with the S&P 500 and the market data this week. So preparing you guys for this week's trading week and everything you need to know for the meme stocks and the overall stock market. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on. All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to be looking at the S&P 500, the overall market, and we're also going to look at our favorite meme stock, AMC. So, guys, I just want to quickly update you guys on what's going on with the markets. All right, so first of all, on the 4-hour time frame, we have this golden cross right here that maintained and held, as you guys can see on the 4-hour time frame. And the overall weekly charts are looking really, really bullish. Okay, so my overall opinion is that we are going to see more upside in the market. In fact, the crash that everyone is waiting for might not ever come. We might consolidate in this falling wedge to the upside, come back down and retest some of these lower lows, but we might be moving to higher highs eventually here down the road. I do think in the bigger picture, the macro time frame, if you guys look, we're about to get a bullish cross on the monthly time frame. Like, the markets are about to go bullish. We held the 50 as support right here. I don't think the crash is coming. I really don't. I don't think the crash that everyone is waiting for is going to come. We might move sideways, might have chop, but there's a lot of underlying bullish sentiment in the market. They made a lot of money from that last bull run, and that money is going to find its way back into the markets like it always does. So, hey, it might be the start of a new bull run, so that might be sideways chop and stuff like that. But I think we are going to see upside later down the road for the markets and be approaching higher highs quicker than people think. We need to be aware of what's going on with the news. This week is going to be absolutely crazy. ISM numbers, JOLTS, job openings, ISM servers, Fed interest rates. So we got a ton of stuff coming out. Federal unemployment, like all of this stuff. Unemployment rates coming out on Friday. So all of this stuff is going to be major volatility, major moves for the market ahead. I do think most of this will have underlying bullish sentiment. And I do think we will continue to move to the upside. Even though the economy does look like we are going into recession or currently in recession, I do think that stocks are going to move up because they normally start to move up midway through the recession. And we are probably about midway to halfway through this recession. So let's go ahead and check out AMC and see what we're looking at for AMC stock. So guys, I got to keep it real with you. I always got to keep it 100. The TA is telling me something different than the bars pattern. So if I don't see this bars pattern start to match up a little bit more with the price action, I do think it is going to have to be scrapped and or used as just a guide. I do think the price targets are legitimate because the breakout of the falling wedge, the Fibonacci retracements, all of these things are giving these same price targets, giving me confluence that we are going to see a higher high for AMC one way or another. And I do think it is going to play out in a Tesla style type short squeeze. So I won't completely get rid of the bars pattern, but unless the price starts to match up a little bit more correctly, I'm going to have to scrap that thesis because it is not matching up. So the dates and the times and the prices won't match up the way that we need them to. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC stock. So basically the technicals are telling me that we are going to see, let's go ahead and check out the charts, that we're going to see AMC move to the upside. Now, what I really want to see on Monday, there's two things that could happen that could put this bars pattern right into play. And it has deviated a tiny bit before, as you guys can see. So it's basically on candle for candle right here. And that is the way that I like to have it. If it's not candle for candle, then it's not legit. It called for this big dump here, and then it called for upside, then the pullback, and then we seen this rip. You see, had a little bit of deviation here and a tiny little bit here. It didn't go as far as it said it would, but basically it's mainly on point. That's where I'm thinking that it is still a very good guide, but time frames are going to be slightly different for these prices. I do think these price targets are accurate because the breakout of the falling wedge, all of that stuff is telling us that we are going to see a higher high for AMC. I showed you guys before, but if you go ahead and type in falling wedge, this is very basic, back to the basics, and that's how you need to keep it. Sometimes simple, sometimes the simplest answer is the correct answer. As you guys can see, falling wedge is a bullish continuation pattern. So you guys can see we have a move to the upside, falling wedge, move to the upside. Now what's happening for AMC? AMC is in this falling wedge. As you guys can see, it's breaking out of it. We had a move to the upside. We're in this falling wedge, bullish continuation pattern. Now we're going to have a move to the upside. And what this means is it's going to be a higher high. So what you want to take is your high from your low to get your price target for the falling wedge. And as you guys can see, you can move that over there, and it takes us to at or around past all-time highs, giving us a higher high. That is just basic technical analysis, and this is what I'm looking at for the breakout of this falling wedge. This is a 2-year falling wedge, so these things take time. This is the macro picture. These things take time to play out, but that is why I'm holding, because I'm sure that this is going to play out as long as the reverse split or conversion does not happen, and I don't believe that is going to happen. It's very evident that Adam Aaron did sell away our voting rights. That's why he wants to settle. He just wants to end this thing. He knows that he's guilty, and he doesn't want the judge and them digging into everything else, because it's going to expose a lot of other things that he did that was dirty. That's why he's just trying to get rid of this, but it's too late now. It's going to be a massive issue, and this is going to become a problem for the shorts. The FTDs that have been piling up and racking up will not go away now. The reverse split was going to erase the FTDs and get rid of everything. So that's what I'm looking at for AMC, and by changing the QSIP number, that's what I believe they were going to do. They were going to take the reverse split and cover their shorts, short the new price back down, and also cover the FTDs. But now these FTDs are going to be a problem, and once they realize that, once they finally realize that this is over and the court case is won, and I think it's a blessing that the courts got involved, because this is going to be a decisive decision that is going to end this, and it's going to end, and we are going to rock it. I do believe that we are going to see higher highs for AMC. There's multiple things telling us that. We have the breakout of the falling wedge and everything else, so it's not the end of the world that the bars pattern is not tracking 100% as of this point. But there is one thing that could validate this if we see a push up pre-market, because we want to see us break out of this rising wedge. So we're going to talk about the technicals and everything else for AMC right now. What the technicals are telling me and what the bars pattern are telling me. They're two different things, and that's why I'm conflicted, and that's why I have to rely on the technicals when it comes to this for my predictions, unless the bars pattern begins to line up. So unless we have a nice push up to the $5.75, $6 region by pre-market tomorrow, or sometime tomorrow, Monday, sometime around this time where the candles are still lining up with this, then this is not going to be valid. So unless we see price start to rapidly climb up and we start to go parabolic, this is not going to be valid, and we might be up for a slower climb to the upside. Now, I do believe that we are in a uptrend, and we are going to be starting a new uptrend, breaking out of this falling wedge, as you guys can see. What the technicals are telling me on the smaller time frame is, so I'm going to go ahead and explain this to you guys, is that we are in what's called a rising wedge. A rising wedge breaks to the downside. Right here you have this bull pennant, which is telling us we're probably going to see a nice pop pre-market, but it's probably only going to go up to about 570, which is the range we are looking for. So that is why I'm not ready to fully dismiss the bars pattern as of yet. So let's go ahead and see and wait how it continues to track, see if price can gap up and get matching to it or close to it, but I'm going to leave it there as a guide because it does seem to still have a lot of validity to it. As you guys can see, we have this golden cross here on the 1 hour time frame. We've been holding the 50 EMA this whole time, which is extremely bullish. We're probably going to get a pop up to about 575, 560 pre-market, come back down tomorrow morning, and then retest resistance and move back up. This is going to be on Monday, so we'll get a pre-market bounce on Monday. You'll probably see it pop pre-market, then you'll see it dump in the morning and then start to move up throughout the day once it finds a bottom in the morning. And then I do think we'll continue up through Tuesday and Wednesday, but we really need to break out of this rising wedge. This rising wedge is a little bit of a problem because they always break to the downside. Now, it's a good thing if we go all the way to the top of this rising wedge to about $6, break to the downside, retest these lower lows of about 430, 450, 550, 530, and then bounce off that and continue to the upside, breaking through this major resistance zone. So that would actually be a really, really bullish thing, moving up past this major resistance, coming up and then using it as support, breaking past major resistance and moving to the upside. So that is what I'm expecting from AMC. So the rising wedge is not the end of the world as long as we go to the tip of it. Now, another thing that could happen is we could just absolutely go parabolic. Obviously, this is what everyone will want to see, and we break to the upside of the rising wedge. This has a very, very small chance to happen. Rising wedges have a 2 to 3 chance breaking to the downside. So there's a 1/3 chance of this actually happening, breaking to the upside and going parabolic, but it could happen. Now, that needs to happen, or we're going to see a little bit of pullback. Volume is starting to come back down, and RSI is extremely high here on the 4-hour time frame. It is overbought on the 4-hour time frame. So if we do not see some parabolic type action, we might actually see some consolidation and break out of the wedge. I think it's going to hold as of this point. We will see, but we have to see what's happening with the volume, and if we get a nice pump to the upside pre-market is what we're going to need. With RSI this high, then we'll come back down, letting RSI cool down using previous support or use previous resistance as support. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC on the technicals. Now, again, I'm not ready to scrap the bars pattern just of yet, because it does seem like we could get up to these ranges and it might just be off by a few cents. So we will see what happens. Let's see if we get to these higher price ranges later down the road when it comes to earnings. Let's see where we're at during earnings. If we're around that $7, $8, $5, or $6, let's see, about $7, $7.50 range in earnings. So if we're around that range in earnings, then we are on track and are looking extremely good. I do think earnings is going to be positive and having us a push to the upside. As you guys know, box office doing extremely good, and he's selling the popcorn as well, and he has the Visa cards as well. I think the earnings are going to be absolutely phenomenal, seeing us move to the upside. And a lot of people say we dump after earnings or this or that. It's kind of a coin toss. I'm in the camp that it's going to be a move to the upside for us after earnings, and we are in a uptrend, and we are going to be moving to the upside, seeing higher highs for AMC later down the road. And this downtrend, this 2-year downtrend, this bear trend is over. It is ending. As you guys can see, we had a falling wedge resistance that was over our head every time we ran. Now it is not there. So the next time we run, we're just going to keep going and going and going. Every time we came up to this resistance, we got knocked down, we got halted, we got shorted, we got everything. But now we do not have that resistance above our head, and we can move to the upside. So that is what I'm expecting to happen for AMC. And if you look at the overall macro picture, that's what you can see as well as you look at the MACD for the monthly time frame. As you guys can see, we're about to get a monthly MACD cross here in a few short months. So guys, AMC is ending the bear trend. This bear trend, downtrend is ending, and we are going into an uptrend. It is very obvious and very, very clear. So this is what I'm looking at based off my research and technical analysis for AMC. We'll quickly look at APE, and then I'm going to wrap up the video. So I do think APE is going to be moving up with AMC. I think APE is going to see nice upside with AMC. I think it's going to continue moving up. We do have a cup and handle formation. As you guys can see, this is the cup and handle that I've been tracking for quite some time now. As you guys can see, right here is your cup. Right here is your handle, and then your breakout point is going to be your $1.70 mark. Okay, so if we get above $1.70, you'll see us push to this $2 range, $2.50 range. And if we can get above that $2.50 range, we have this next support and resistance at $3.36. If we can beat that, $5 and then $10 is the goal. Let's see APE at $5 to $10. I truly do think it is possible, especially once AMC starts to run. I do think all of the meme stocks are going to run with it. BBBY might have a little bit of issues because it is being delisted and going to the OTC market. So a lot of people are going to be selling BBBY only because they can't use the OTC market. But some people I do know are holding it. So if you're in that play, it is up to you. Do what's right for you. Hopefully you know that you put in money that you can afford to lose. Hopefully you didn't bet the boat on this thing. But guys, I think AMC, GME, APE are all really, really looking good. BBBY could see a pump to the upside before it gets delisted. Anything is possible. The technicals are saying it is winding up for a move, but I don't know how the delisting is going to affect it. So if you guys look at some of the technicals on here, there's a gap fill at 25 cents here. There's a gap fill that needs to be filled at 25 cents. Let's see what a gap fill is. There's a gap fill up here at 25 cents. There's also the bullishness of the Bollinger Bands getting extremely tight, letting us know that a volatile move is coming for the stock. As you guys can see right here on the daily time frame, Bollinger Bands getting extremely tight, letting us know volatility is coming for Bed Bath and Beyond stock. So this is what I'm looking at for the meme stocks: AMC, APE, GME. I do think GME could see a nice push to the upside as well, especially if it gets above the sloping resistance at about $21. Then we could push up to this next resistance of 27 and break out of this massive falling wedge that GME is also in, which I do think is going to see a bullish continuation pattern to the upside. As you guys can see, GME is also in a massive falling wedge. Weekly time frame, Bollinger Band's getting extremely tight. Green weekly MACD. Last time we had these things, we ran up. It just takes time. These things take time to play out, but these scenarios are playing out for AMC and GME as well. Bollinger Band's very tight on the weekly time frame. Green weekly MACD, and we had these run-ups. Just wait, they are coming, in my personal opinion. So guys, this is what I have for you guys. Hopefully you found the video informative. Again, short interest is extremely high, 26.62% short interest, letting us know that we could easily squeeze much higher because we have higher short interest than last time. We have more FTDs and higher cost to borrow as well, and the FTDs are going through the roof. So that's what I'm looking at for AMC and the meme stocks. Hopefully you found this video informative. I know I did. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. Remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. We talk about stocks, crypto all day long. So if you find any of that interesting, go ahead and check that out. And as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. All right, guys, that was the video. Hopefully you found it informative. I know I did. If you did, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this. Remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. And I truly appreciate each and every one of you that show love, drop comments, and watch to the end of the video. It really does mean a lot to me. And as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.